kid is the 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 kid. We come in peace. We come with Doritos. We come in peace. We come in Doritos. Guys, what's up? What's up? What's up? I'm just gonna say, guys, just to straight off the bat now. Last night's stream was amazing. Last night's stream was amazing. I think that is definitely one of the best kind of discussions that I've had. It's one of the best discussions that I've had because it was honest, it was open. Beautiful. So we have many more coming through because, in case you're new, this what happens. So every Wednesday is the movie Q&A, and Half Hope Cinema Club, which I will tell you more about in a second. So every Wednesday is the movie Q&A, where I just answer. I'm just talking movies. It's strictly movies, not politics, but strictly movies, strictly films. I want to just keep things strictly to films, and so that's there. And then every Thursday, hopefully I can get it with Machine. Me and Machine will do a top 10. So every Thursday is the top 10 show where me and Machine say what's up with a top 10 of a particular topic or sort of. And then every other day is pretty much a topic. So Monday, Tuesday, Friday, Saturday, probably Sunday is going to be a topic, like a topic that is interesting and so forth that we want to really get into. And what I always say, guys, is if there's any topic you want us to talk about, any topic at all you want us to talk about, just head to the website. This is the website, www.halfhopehot.com. That is my personal website, the website of the Half Hope Hot. So everything that I'm doing, that I'm getting up to is that. Last Airbender is all right. The Last Airbender is all right, keeping very healthy, Purdy's. Last Airbender is all right, man. I mean, I'm really getting into it. Like, it started off slow, but I'm now really getting into all the characters, man. And the characters are A1. The characters are A1. Just let me just do something real quick. Just bear with me 1 second. Just change around a few things, and then I'll be with you. CSP. There we go. Beautiful. So I've really been enjoying Last Airbender. Like Last Airbender has definitely been something that has really resonated with me. And shout out to Joseph Naji and Sammy, who were both telling me that watch it. But I say again, my friend, when it came out, wanted me to watch it, I said no, screw you, I'm not watching that whole cheesy thing. But I think when your boy Joseph Naji, shout out to my Niger boy, and Sammy said, watch it, get on it, I was like, okay, fair enough. Let me get into it. And the first 2-3 episodes were quite tough. I was like, okay, what's this Disney American crap? But now I'm riding through. So that has been really good for me. And you know what? I'm still watching films. The last one I watched was Dumbo. So remember, you can check on the website down there. Ooh, look at that. The website, www.halfhopehot.com. And if you want to message me, get in contact with me, just see what is going through my brain. Everything is all there on the website at www.halfhopehot.com. So guys, this is what it is. This is the movie Q&A. It's where you can ask me anything to do with the films. Remember, we will leave all the other general stuff for afterwards. I may make Sunday a general Q&A, but this is just everything films. This is a film discussion, anything about films, actors, actresses, screenwriters, directors, everything. This is where it's at. And I don't know whether now, but maybe I'll answer a few questions first. But I definitely want to get into the Snyder Cut and why I think people are complete and utter morons for wanting to do a dumbass Snyder Cut, man. Your boy, look, Joseph, man. It is what I told you. It was tough. That first episode was tough. That first episode was tough to get through. But I'll give it to you, man. I have really gotten into it. I've really gotten into it now. Favorite characters so far. You see, I thought Sokka was a bit cheesy I'm really getting into the dude right now. I don't think I have a clear. The uncle, Zuko's uncle, is pretty funny. I'll give you that. Zuko's uncle is pretty funny because he's got such a weird, irreverent sense of humor. So I think I think it's between Zuko's humor and Sokka is growing on me. I think Ang is a moron. Personally, for me, like he's done so much stupid stuff. That I'm like, but when he does dumb stuff, I'm like, oh, okay, all right, let's look. Okay, it's interesting, man. But he's done stuff that is so stupid. It just makes me laugh when he does the stupid stuff. And the reason why I like it is that he's a bit of an idiot. Because obviously, because he's young and a kid, but he's a bit of an idiot. So it's not like this. Oh, I'm this good. There are things that we know. I don't care how young you are. That was stupid. Like, there's one thing that he did to Sokka and Korra. I was like, bro, that's just straight up stupid. So yeah, it is interesting, man. So, have you seen Midsummer? And what are your thoughts on modern horror movies? So, in case you don't know, I am not a fan of horror films. I'm not a big fan. Two of my friends are big fans, but I'm not. But I think that horror films that step outside of the genre are a lot better than ones that stick with the genre. Because I think a lot of people have said like The Witch is a great film because it's just a really good film. And the reason why The Exorcist is so revered because the exit steps outside of its genre rather than going through horror genre approach because there are people who are massive fans of horror that want horror just to stay in the paradigm of the horror genre, which is stupid. Funny you say that. I have that saved. I have Midsummer saved on my to watch list on Prime because I think it's on Prime. So I have it. So I've got it saved because I'm like, okay, this seems weird, but fine. People give you good reviews, and I think I don't know whether it was the director of The Witch that did No, I think the director of Hereditary did Midsummer, I believe. So now Hereditary, I'm good. I'm good. I mean, I don't want to be offensive, but Hereditary, from what I've seen, just relax, chill. I already have to deal with my demons and nightmares. Funny says, so guys, remember, the cinema club is every Wednesday. So tonight's film is Book of Eli. So tonight at 10:30 p.m., I will post the link on this channel's community page. So on this channel's community page, you click the link and it is a private StreamYard link where we can watch the film. And the film for tonight is Book of Eli. And if you remember and you join become a Hufflepuff Tots member, you get exclusive videos, which I'm working on for this week. But also as well, you get to choose. So for instance, you could choose to say, oh, Midsummer, let's make it happen. We watch Midsummer and make it happen, and then we both intertwine and make it happen. So you can choose whatever film we want to watch as members, and then we then watch it. All right. So what does this guy say, man? If they make a Two-Face standalone film, which actor could play Harvey Dent? That's a super question. Super question. Because I remember they were thinking of having Liev Schreiber play the role when Thingy was casting out about it. Because you're looking at somebody who can really do both sides and has the kind of right kind of lawyer look. You know what? I'd probably give it to Ryan Gosling. I think it would be. Because I think he'd be able to play Harvey Dent really well. Give him a bit of an edge. And I think because there's definitely something hidden, there's something subliminal about Gosling. So I think if you were now to see him as his Two-Face, so yeah, because I was about to say Ryan Gosling. I think Ryan Gosling would make a really good Two-Face Harvey Dent, man. All right, let's see what it is. All right. See what this guy is saying, man. Oh, interesting. Thoughts on Sidney Poitier? So I haven't seen any of his big films like In the Heat of the Night and so forth, but I recognize his influence. So even if I've seen sort of clips of his films and so forth, and I don't really feel like he's one of the um, best actors technically, he's definitely one of the most important actors because you have to realize how important that film was. In the Heat of the Night, where it was him and the dude who was in the film On the Waterfront with Marlon Brando. I've forgotten his name, but that was a big film and a huge film because it was made in the 60s and it was just made during the whole civil rights era. And that film was really massive and really trying to put a mirror on race relations and stuff. So I think Sidney Poitier is just of his importance in film is why he's very key. And I think if you ask like a Denzel, a Forrest Whitaker, a Jamie Foxx, any of the like a Fishburne, a Samuel L. Jackson, they will say no. Sidney Poitier is extremely important for the kinds of doors he helped open up for other African American actors, man. So he was definitely big. Thoughts on Bill Murray and where do you rank him? See, the thing about Bill Murray is, and the reason why I think he stands out is he's got a very different sense of humor. His approach to humor is very alternative, and that is just what makes him very endearing. Because again, I think they say like, no, he was the real juice of Ghostbusters. Like Ghostbusters was still like Hal Ramis did an amazing job. Him and Dan credit, they had a great idea, great script. But Bill Murray's character is what gave it that true magic. And when you just look at his films, whether it's flipping Groundhog Day, because it's like his sense of humor is very weird. And normally weird sense of humor, if it's right, ends up being really funny. So as far as ranking, it's hard to only rank him because he's so different. You know, like he isn't like a what's the name of that dude? The dude in the mall cop, Blatt mall cop, that chubby white dude. So his comedy is not straight to down the barrel. It's very okay. Well, but is that fun and everything? So yeah, he's just very different in how he does his things, man. Who should the MCU's next villain be? I say Galactus, man. It seems they're definitely going that way. It seems that they're definitely going that way with Galactus, but well, Silver. So I think it's because I think it could either be Galactus or Doctor Doom. You know, because for me, I still feel that they could have done better with Thanos. So they could have done better with Thanos, but I would suppose that I think what they should do is maybe have two villains, maybe like a main villain and like a side villain. So sort of Galactus, because I want to see Silver Surfer again because it wasn't really done justice in the Fantastic Four film. So if they can do a thing of where it's maybe Galactus and Silver Surfer, because I think I was hearing stuff about Doctor Doom, and Doctor Doom's like, you can't go from the issue that they started so big, so you can't go from Thanos to Doctor Doom. So Thanos may be Galactus, but if you just say, okay, now this time you now have to find two villains, then it's not crazy. My thing was that that's why I'm interested to see. This is why I think they need X-Men so much. So we're not gonna have an Avengers with what Spider-Man, Hawkeye, flipping War Machine, Falcon. Nah, I told you, man. Nah. I'm good, man. I'm good, man. It's that's not really my thing, man. So from Rama, what up, baby? What up? Says that should films have 2 to 3 directors across the board? One director for the visuals, elsewhere, one for the actors, and say one for the screenplay editing. How will that change films for good and bad? I think I mentioned this before. You can't have 2 captains of a ship. hell, you can't have three captains of a ship. I get where you're coming from because, for instance, Ridley Scott is amazing with visuals. Quentin Tarantino is, and then you have like a Clint Eastwood who's amazing with actors and gets great performances from actors, and you have a Quentin Tarantino who is a beast with scripts. But the whole point of a director is this is your entire vision. So if you have three directors now, I'm like, you're not. That's not what I want from those actors. Watch and maybe the guy working on that said, well, visually, I would have done something different. This visually did just wrong. So you just have people who don't agree with the visuals, who don't agree with the script, who don't agree with the actors. So the reason why you have to have one clear vision, one clear director is he has final say on the visuals, on what the actors are doing, and the script. So I do think that it would be because it's that's why I always say that whenever I look at a film and I see this has like 5 writers, I'm like, nah. If you think about it, most of the best films ever made, some of the best films have one writer, maximum 2. Maximum 2. The best one of the best films ever made, that maximum 2 writers, or most likely 1. Look, Tarantino, all of his films is just him. James Cameron was him and someone else. So you don't want too many cooks in the kitchen. You don't want too many cooks in the kitchen because you have to have, which is why I rate Blade Runner so highly, because Blade Runner is one guy's clear, concise vision from the ground up. Ridley Scott built that whole entire world to like say, no, this is Ridley Scott's thing. And also as well, if now giving out awards, do we now break the best director award to best director for scripts, best director for, because again, you can't give the best director award to all 3. So it could cause problems, man. Let's see. Oh, this whole money heist thing, my guy. You know what? I don't know, man. I don't know, bro. I don't really know about this whole money heist stuff. But yeah, that's what I said too many cooks in the kitchen, man. That's what this guy is saying. Tom Hilton for Two-Face. Nah. You can't have that, man. You can't have that. Let me just see what else guys are saying, man. Top 5 movies of the last decade. This has not been that. This has not really been that much of a decade in which I have really sort of had memorable films. So you're thinking 2010 to 20. And I'll keep it real with you. There've not been that many. Okay, so if I think about it, you've got to look at Parasite. You've got to look at Edge of Tomorrow. Even if I wouldn't put that one the best, you have to look at Winter Soldier. I forgot, Winter Soldier. You've got to look at basically I've actually got to look at the list, because I just think that someone says like this has been heavily influenced by comic book movies, and even when you look at the films that have come out, like Nightcrawler for sure, Nightcrawler. Sorry, let me just put it up. Nightcrawler has been huge. Nightcrawler was huge. So yeah, you see, for me, someone says that Wolf of Wall Street. I wasn't really that big of a fan of Wolf of Wall Street. Like I sort of admire what Scorsese did, because it was almost 3 hours and it's held your attention. But again, as I said, I'm not a big DiCaprio fan. So watching DiCaprio for almost 3 hours is really pushing it. Hateful Eight. Yeah. So I think so. You've got Hateful Eight. So you've got Hateful Eight, you've got Edge of Tomorrow, you've got Nightcrawler, you've got Winter Soldier, and you've got Parasites. So those are my five, man. Those are definitely my five. Um, I think I already told you guys about what I thought about Mad Max. We'll get back to that. So Fully Wizard of that. Thank you for the super chat, man. Thank you, bro. Thank you, bro. Thank you, bro, for the super chat. Thank you, bro. Thank you, bro. Thank you, bro. Anti-monitor or dark seed? Missed my first super chat. Also, don't mix me up with footy trolls. Oh, okay. Yeah, because I kept thinking that. Are you footy troll, Fully Wizard? Okay, so you guys are different. All right. Okay. Two different people. Okay, so actually, let me just see. Did I miss your first super chat? Okay, there we go. I've got it. So missed. So okay. So let me check this out. Let me check this out. I would say I've not really heard much of Anti-Monitor, but I'm gonna go with Darkseid. I'm gonna go with Darkseid. Because I just and the thing with Darkseid though, and I think with a lot of these characters is doesn't Darkseid have a move that is unstoppable? I think is it called like the anti-life move? So I think he has a move that is flipping unstoppable. The reason why I say Darkseid is I would love for them if they do it to get Andre Brow doing the voice because I believe there's a cartoon film like a DC film where Andre Brow does the voice of Darkseid, and I'm like a huge Andre Brow fan, and his voice for it is flipping out amazing. So if they can get Darkseid and they get Andre Brow to do his voice, and the CGI is as good as um, Thanos, then that'd be great. And my thing is that if they do that, this just mean I don't want to see. I know you have to, but I don't want to see Batman in the Justice League. Just let me see superheroes fight a flipping superhero. What the heck is a regular dude in a battle outfit going to do against Darkseid? Or what is a regular dude in a battle going to do against flipping Doomsday? Like, when I was watching Dawn of Justice and I was seeing Batman fighting Doomsday, I was like, this is. I'm sorry. I know it's fiction. I know it's fake. That it looks stupid. It's like this is a regular guy in a battle outfit. You're looking at Wonder Woman. You're looking at flipping Superman. These are huge gods with huge superpowers. They can jump up. They can do lasers. They have. And looking at Batman, we're like, Superman, you're not a superhero. You have no business being in this situation right now. This is for Green Lantern, The Flash, Wonder Woman, and Superman. That's this situation's for you. You're not involved in this situation. Go get your ass back to Gotham City and go sort out flipping Two-Face and Joker. It's done. It's done. I don't know how to put it out and release it and where I can release it in, but I will try and figure that out. But it is done. It is done. It is done. Good thing you reminded me. It's a good thing you reminded me because I now have to. Good thing you reminded me. Hopefully, I can still extract it. Hopefully, I can still extract it because when did we film it? But it is done though. We have done the Juice WRLD chunk. It is done. So let's figure out how to bring it out, man. Machine. Maybe we can ask the people, what is our top 10 for tomorrow? We have a top 10 for tomorrow, top 10, 10:30, 10 p.m. tomorrow. And look, we need to work out when we can do because I want to watch Batman Forever because I wanted to see exactly what you see in that flipping flipping weirdo film with nipples. But yeah, what do you guys want me and Machine to do a top 10 of for tomorrow? And then me and Machine can sort that out and make our list tonight, and then we can give it to you tomorrow. I love you tomorrow, so don't be afraid. Don't be afraid. I'll be on tomorrow. Tomorrow. But yeah, I think I already told you guys about Mad Max. Is that Mad Max was could have been amazing. Mad Max could have been amazing. But at the end of the day, this wasn't a Mad Max film. Like, directing wise, it was superb. It was superb as an action movie. The way it was paced, the kinds of scenes that was happening, it was off the chain. But it wasn't a Mad Max movie. It was a Furiosa movie, and I was pissed off personally because I'm a huge Tom Hardy fan, and Tom Hardy is a massive upgrade on Mel Gibson because Mel Gibson is a break actor, an amazing director. So you getting Tom Hardy to not be Mad Max, I was like, oh my gosh, we're in, we're amazing. This is it. Let's ride. But you know, so Machine, what is our top 10, guys? Ask Machine what our top 10 is, man, and the Machine can confirm. So in the live chat, because Machine is Robo Muerto, ask him what the top 10 is, and then we shall all coincide and decide, man. So get at him in the chat. Breaking Bad, I think I'm okay. Maybe I didn't share this with Breaking Bad. Sit down. Breaking Bad is this. Great idea. Because Breaking Bad is essentially Scarface with a twist. It is Scarface with a twist. But the reason why I don't put Breaking Bad as the best, because Breaking Bad has some amazing things. And I think the best thing about Breaking Bad are obviously Bryan Cranston's performance was amazing, some amazing characters, and their very fresh and original approach to certain episodes. But I think it somehow lost its way a bit. And there's some episodes or some places where they tried to be a bit too clever. Jesse was flipping annoying. Like Aaron Paul, I found his character and him to be incredibly annoying. Absolutely flipping annoying. I mean, the guy just pissed me off, you know. He pissed me off to no end. But I think overall, not like a pretty satisfying ending. You know, I mean, I thought that it could have gone another way, a different way. The final season was cool, but I don't think it was, let's say, as consistent as The Wire. I think The Wire had consistent quality from the very beginning to the very end. Like The Wire never had like a drop off, and I think The Wire is the only TV show I can think of that maintained a high quality all the way through. Like almost every other TV show you can think of was like, okay, well, this season was not as good as this season, you know. But like Tuco is one of the craziest dudes out there. Like Tuco was amazing. Tuco was an absolutely amazing thing, man. But Jesse was annoying. You don't get your hate on Batman. They did this. Okay, so see, this is my thing about Batman, and I think this is what I realized about Batman. I am a fan of Tim Burton and Michael Keaton's take on the character because it makes the most sense. I said to myself, why didn't I ever read Batman comics? And from my point of view, I never read Batman comics because I couldn't take a guy dressed as a bat with a light blue cape and gray pajamas seriously. I just couldn't take him seriously. Like, because when you look at Spider-Man looks cool. When you look at the X-Men look cool. You know, when you look at Spawn, he looks cool. Because for me, if I'm looking at the comic, I'm looking at the cover. I'm looking at the arts first. Forget the story. I'm looking at the arts first. So artistically, when I just looked at Batman, he's wearing gray pajamas. I can't take this seriously, you know. So, but when I saw the Tim Burton film, he got what the character I think should be about. So first of all, okay, he's black, he's mysterious, he doesn't talk a lot, he's very concealed, and he's very much trying to evoke the aura of a bat, you know. And I was like, okay, no. And the key thing that what he got is that he realized that this dude is a weirdo. You have to be a weirdo to dress up as a bat. You can't be normal. You know, you can't be normal. You have to be a weirdo to dress up as a bat. And I think the issue with the comics and with other things that they don't really address how weird it is that a guy is dressing up as a bat, which is weird. So that's just why I sort of gravitated towards what Michael Keaton, who's really called Michael Douglas, by the way, or Michael Keaton at what Tim Burton did. Um, if you could watch a movie or TV show again for the first time, which one would it be and why? Oh, this is a superb question. This is a superb question. Red Devil, I'm going to come for you, man. I'm going to come for you. I'm going to come for you. So, if you could watch a movie or TV show again for the first time, which one would it be and why? For TV show, I've always said this for all time, 24. 24. If I could erase my memory, I wish I could erase my memory of 24 so I can watch those first 3 seasons again. Those first 3 seasons of 24 are some of the best, most addictive, enjoyable times of my life. Amazing. Movie, it's a toss-up between The Matrix Reloaded, which is a film I've watched more than anything, and maybe Terminator 2. Maybe Terminator 2. Either one of those two. Terminator 2 or Reloaded for a thing. But for me, hands down, movie or TV show, 24. 24. Because 24 doesn't work as well the second time. 24 is a first-time experience. And I said again, for a first-time experience, nothing in the history of entertainment, nothing in the history of entertainment beats nothing in the history of entertainment beats 24. That was an orgasmic experience, man. 100%, man. 100%. Ooh, that's interesting. Oh yeah, I'm going to talk about this about Snyder. Oh yeah, no, I'm going to. If we would live in a movie world of a movie, which movie world would it be and why? Even if it's super dangerous, I would love to live in that in Sin City, man. Love to live in Sin City or the world of Back to the Future 2. The world of Back to the Future 2. I would love to live in that world. That would be pretty damn good. Yeah, Back to the Future 2 or those ones. Either Back to the Future 2 or Sin City. But in Sin City, I've got to have super guns with me, man. Yeah, no. Let me. Justice League Snyder Cut's thoughts. Oh. Yes. Thank you, Red Devil Studio. RDS, man, for the win. Are people sick? Are people sick? Are you telling me that Justice League movie that's let me not even come to Dawn of Justice, because this is the thing that I just annoys people. And this is the stupidity of DC. You just won a couple of Oscars with Joker. You won not technical Oscars, proper Oscars, i.e., best actor and best original score for Joker. But you're trying to go back to this garbage trash. Just, there has never been a time where I've seen a garbage film, theatrical cut, and a director's cut that has been greatly improved upon the theatrical cut. That's never happened. So even if you're putting new scenes and everything, the theatrical, whatever cut you see in the cinema is still the bare bones and the core of the film that they actually made. What the director's cut does slightly helps to improve upon what you saw in the theatrical cut. You can't go from a garbage film to an amazing film. Are you telling me that Zack Snyder is a better filmmaker than Joss Whedon? Zack Snyder is a much better visualist. As far as a storyteller, are you telling me that Zack Snyder, this clown who made Sucker Punch, this clown who made Man of Steel, this clown who made The Dawn of Justice, are you telling me that clown is a better storyteller than Joss Whedon? Who, only once, Avengers is great storytelling. As far as pacing and structure of the film is great that Snyder can do. Snyder is a visualist. He's a visual merchant. Dune is a visual merchant. He can't tell a story. So one people have to realize that he shouldn't be a director. He should be a cinematographer. Just make him, because this guy can give you super visuals. Because he went to art school, so he can give you super visuals. But as a director, you can have all the visuals you want. You have to tell a story. That makes sense. This guy can't do that. So you can't go from that piece of crap that I saw in Justice League to an amazing film of the Snyder Cut, because Snyder film scenes that are so good it would vastly change your view on the film. Like, no, it's not happening. It's not happening. It might slightly improve, or it might just slightly be worse. So you morons, you stupid morons going here, hashtag Snyder Cut, hashtag Snyder Cut, hashtag Snyder Cut, hashtag Snyder Cut. You stupid idiots, you fools. Yes, you stupid idiots, you fools. Okay, you should be getting DC to, man, yo, Todd, let's get a Two-Face standalone film. Let's get a Death of Superman film. Screw that Dawn of Justice. Let's get a standalone Green Lantern film. Let's get a standalone Dark Knight Returns film. Let's try and get the best directors to say what's up in this arena. Let's do that. And because remember, DC haven't said anything. Because DC DC, you want us to go back to that crap? Are you sick? Because see, what DC are doing now is like, look, how can we move forward right now? Because if I was advising DC, screw DCEU, screw it. It's not going to work. Marvel have done it. What you can do, Marvel can't do. You can make real films. And you can make films that are a 15 and an 18. Marvel can't do that because they are owned by Disney. And what we saw from Joker is you can make an R-rated film that can make a billy. You can make an R-rated film that makes a billy. Just make it good. Word of mouth is a huge thing. You can make a film for 20 mil, 30 mil, it can gain 500 or 600 based on the interest of the whole material. The DCEU, screw that. It's not happening. Just forget it. Make stand-alone films with best directors. That's what you should do. Final cut. It is the dumbest flipping idea. Dumbest flipping idea that I can think of, man. So utterly 100% stupid, man. Snyder Cut, man. Yeah, get the. It's like I don't want to swear in this thing because I save my swearing for Twitch. But get the living fudge out of here, man. Get the living fudge. Who in their rights, man? You have to be a fudging break class A to be you're campaigning to. Did anybody see Dawn of Justice? Did anybody see Dawn of Justice? Did anybody see Dawn of Justice? Did anybody see that crap film? Did you see what he made Doomsday look like? This is the same clown who made Gal Gadot. That's flipping no acting. This is the dude that's made Gal Gadot Wonder Woman, a woman who can't act. This is the dude who made Jesse Eisenberg Lex Luthor, one of the most embarrassing takes on a character I've ever seen. This is the dude that made it Doomsday. Doomsday in Dawn of Justice looked worse than PS2 graphics. PS2 cutscenes. There are PS2 cutscenes that look better than that Doomsday that I saw. Yes, said my water man. Thank you for super chat. Thank you for super chat. Thank you for the super chat, man. What does it say about DC where Joker is their best film character of all time? Better than Superman, better than Batman, far better than Aquaman. It's because of how things are made. Two-Face, for me, as I said, Joker is not a great character. He's not. Joker is not a great character. The Two-Face has never been done justice. Two-Face is a much better character than Joker. Joker is just a psychopath who they're trying to make deep, but he really is a psychopath. Two-Face is a guy that has a split personality syndrome. That is That is literal, that is juice for a writer or an actor. He's got split personality, same syndrome. So Two-Face in Batman Forever, that was Joel Schumacher just trying to do campy stuff. Two-Face in Dark Knight had like about 3 minutes. We've not actually seen a fully well fleshed out Two-Face film, which I think would make a superb standalone film. The transition from Evidence to Two-Face. Superman can be a superb character, but you have to get it from the right angle. So what is that? We haven't seen these characters truly been done justice. Wonder Woman could be a truly damn good character. Just as you've got Gal Gadot who can't act. Put a real actress as Wonder Woman, you could have a pretty interesting story about Amazonians and Amazonian warriors. But you need a great lead to get that core out of the character. So it's really about things not already been done justice, man. Wow. Who is better, Zack Snyder or Michael Bay? My God, man. You know what? Michael Bay. As bad as Michael Bay is, as cheesy as Michael Bay is, Zack Snyder can't make a Bad Boys. Zack Snyder can't make The Rock. He can't. So Michael Bay has made some cheesy films. Michael Bay, The Rock is a film. Like that's a film. Bad Boys 1, that's a film. So Michael Bay, within all this stuff, still understands, okay, a film. Zack Snyder can't. I think the last film that Zack Snyder made was, I think that's whole Dawn of the Dead thing. Zack Snyder makes extended music videos. That is the best way to describe it. He makes extended music videos. He doesn't make films. He does not make narrative materials, man. All right, let's see what the guys say. So what about Star Trek? So what do you mean by Star Trek? What do you referring to with regards to Star Trek specifically? What do you mean by Star Trek specifically? Because look, I'm a huge Star Trek fan. You know, I'm a huge Star Trek fan. So yeah, no. Gal Gadot is trash, man. You see, no, this has always been my issue. This has always been my issue about Superman is he is too powerful. And I've never understood why you have Lex Luthor as one of his enemies. So I was never a fan of Superman. But the way you do an interesting Superman film is it has to be a character study. Let's get rid of all this garbage of like, oh, the good man and trying to do so good. Basically, that's nonsense that Henry Cavill was doing. He's an alien. Superman is an alien. And that was the path, that was the in that Tim Burton was going to do. And when you realize that he's an alien, he's this Jesus type figure, then what you do is that, what would it feel like to have an all-powerful being in today's world? How would people react towards him? Which was the friend of Man of Steel, but they just failed. How would people react towards him? So if he saves certain countries, how would people say, okay, why are you saving those guys and not saving these guys? How would the UN use him or try to utilize him? And what would be going on in his own mind? What kind of inner demons would he be fighting of like, I'm this huge all-powerful being and everybody wants me to be this whole thing? But the only Superman story that can be told is the story of Doomsday. That is the only story. And see, my Superman film is a two-parter. About 2 hours each. So it's like a 4-hour epic. And which is what Superman Lives was supposed to be about, which is part 1 is dealing with being Superman and so forth, and the arrival of Doomsday, the fight with Doomsday and his death. And part 2 is his resurrection in a post-Doomsday Earth. And that is your two-parter. And it's a standalone. That's what I'll do. What about OC? And then you can try and do, but the story that needs to be told, similar to Joker, standalone story is a two-parter epic of the Doomsday storyline, the death and rise of Superman. You know, there's something that needs to be done. Yes, yes. Captain Marvel. I don't even know how she was created. You know, so and to this day, I've not watched the Captain Marvel film, and I will never. I mean, when I heard what they did to Nick Fury in Captain Marvel, what I heard what they did to Nick Fury in Captain Marvel, I was like, you know what, I'm cool. I'm cool. You're gonna do that to Nick Fury. You're gonna do that to Samuel Jackson. Like, Tunji man, MCU man, they can't survive without Captain America and Iron Man. They can't. So Simon, thank you for super chat. Thank you for super chatting. HH, let's be real. If the Joker film comes out, everyone and their mom is watching that. If Superman comes out, anyone watching that crap. I will admit that right now, based on how Superman has been done, more people will go towards Joker because of it's what have you done for me lately? So the last time we saw Superman was in that garbage Justice League, that's garbage Dawn of Justice, and that's garbage Man of Steel. 3 garbage films. Last time we saw Joker was in the Joker film. Let's forget Suicide Squad and of course Dark Knight. Great performances. So, but you can't deny the popularity of Superman. It's about the trailer. If you bring out a trailer that is really good, people will be, because people want to like Superman. It's Superman. It's one of the most famous. It's one of the most famous insignias in all of entertainment. So, but the key thing is you have to win people over. You're right, because of how garbage he's been presented. Is Superman film now? People are like whatsoever, and I see that's the thing. Like Henry Cavill, get him out of there. Get that dude out of there. Like, we're done with Henry Cavill. You need to totally reboot with someone different. The biggest mistake Warner Brothers made is they gave Zack Snyder too much power. So you look at the difference. Russo brothers, Zack Snyder. Russo brothers gave you Winter Soldier, even if I didn't like it, Infinity War, Civil War, and Endgame, which pretty much solidified Marvel's dominance and them lubricating DC. Zack Snyder gave you Man of Steel, Dawn of Justice, and that's still pretty much his Justice League. Nonsense. So it's about having the right guy in charge. It's about having the right guy in charge. Superhero movies are a money grab. There are no good storylines. I'll be real with you. I am getting superhero movie fatigue. Like, I grew up watching films, you know, and I'm not a fan of the MCU because it's very repetitive. 90% of MCU films are crap. That's 90% of MCU films are crap, and they're very, and see, superhero movies are very formulaic. Like Dawn of Justice is a piece of crap. That is a literal, you can't call that, that is an insult to film, you know, because superhero movies, they're like, we just want to just appeal to this ADD generation and just put all this nonsense out there. So it's and because you can, trust me, you can get great storylines from superhero movies, but the people in charge, the people who get given the roles, the directors and writers, they are just regurgitating nonsense. They're regurgitating nonsense, and that's just the big issue, man. Yo, Crocker, what up, baby? Yeah, see, okay, the thing about Henry Cavill is Henry Cavill is basically his audience are really women. Yeah, you've got men, but it's really women who want to have sex with him. You know, who basically want to screw him. So he's like his sex symbol. And that's all cool, and you can definitely get money through there, but that can only take you so far. That's not going to make you supremely popular, because at the end of the day, you can look. Gal Gadot is a very attractive lady. She's very attractive. She's a garbage actress, so she can only take you so far. Henry Cavill to women is very attractive, But Henry Cavill is an okay actor. He can only take you so far. He's okay. He's passable, but he's not that great. Look at what Joaquin Phoenix did. Joaquin Phoenix pretty much almost by himself, obviously Todd did it, but almost by himself generated a billion because his performance was outstanding, absolutely outstanding. So if you just have a truly outstanding actor, because quality is still quality. If you just choose someone based on what they look like, it can only take you so far. It can only take you so far. And there are so far better actors than Henry Cavill who can, if you put them in with the right writer, right director, can make a truly great film. And a truly great film, as we saw with the Joker, can make you a billion. So always go with talent, man. How the hell do you know all actors? Well, I don't know all actors' names, but you don't understand. I don't think you understand. I watch a lots of films. I basically I try, even though there's time, but if I have time, I try and watch at least a film a day. Hopefully, with a new film a day. I don't know. I watch a lot of films and I spend a lot of time on IMDb. So every time I watch a film, I go on IMDb, I learn about who's the director, who's the actor, who the actresses, or what do they do, and everything. So my mind is pretty much an encyclopedia of just films, actors, actresses, directors, and so forth. So yeah, it's just watching loads and loads and loads of films, man. Loads and loads of films, man. Remember, I'm only answering film stuff, man. So you saying why I'm bald so is baldness related to film? I don't know how that's related to film. You're asking if I'm bald, and I'm not bald, by the way. My hair does grow. Henry Cavill is okay, but he's not. He's a standard. Yeah, he's okay. Like, look at what Christopher Reeve did. Christopher Reeve is a high tier actor because you have to understand this, and this is what they don't understand. Superman as a character is zero dimensional, not one dimensional. Did you hear what I said? Superman as a character is zero dimensional. So you needed a Christopher Reeve to help give him three dimensions. You can't pick a one-dimensional actor to portray a one-dimensional character. That's insane. So, which is why when Jim Caviezel was touted as the dude, it was like, yeah, get him. You need a top quality actor to try and add as much flesh to a pretty cat to a Superman is a cardboard character. From the comics, is a cardboard character. But you see, that's the thing, is like there have not really been those many classic films, man. And this is why I just like I miss people say, okay, you're such a merchant and everything. That's why I miss the 90s, man. Because the 90s, I feel, is and this is, I think me and my bro were sort of talking about this, because you say, okay, what was the best decade for films? The best decade for films, I think, and it's between the 70s and the 90s. It's between the 70s and the 90s, but I think you might, I mean, argue that the 90s is the best decade for film. Because as good as the 70s was, Godfather, Seppuku, The Conversation, Jaws, all that stuff, Star Wars, Rocky, the 90s was more diverse. I think the 90s was more experimental. And there was more variety in the 90s, from Matrix, Jurassic Park, T2, Seven, Usual Suspects, Dark City, Silence of the Lambs, Pulp Fiction, American Beauty, Office Space, Fight Club. The kinds of films I think the films were more likely pushing the boundary. I think in the 70s, the films were quite similar in what they were doing, but in the 90s, like what Seven is doing is very different from what T2 is doing. What Office Space was talking about is very different to what like the Matrix was talking about, or what Silence of the Lambs was saying. So when you just look at that decade, and the beauty about that was there were hardly any superhero movies because CGI wasn't that developed. So you had like your Blade, and your Crow and everything. But even when you look at those films like The Blade and the Crow, they were still made like very real because of what the kind of temperature of the society at that time. And for me, like superhero movies are cool, but I would always give me a film. Give me a quality story will always beat green screen and guys in tights, man. Green screen and guys in tights. You see, what's it called? No, King of Comedy. We were supposed to watch, just that the members didn't get the whole thing, so we were supposed to watch that last night. We'll probably try and watch it either this week or next week, but we're supposed to watch that last night for the members. I have seen King of Comedy for a long time ago, but I wanted to watch it again. But the members didn't get the message yesterday, so we may have to do it next week as a member thingy, man. Actually, what is your dream casting film? Woo-wee! As I said again, look, I still dream of a Halo film. That is what I dream about. I still dream of a Halo film. You know. So if we're just doing a Halo film, I would cast Vin Diesel as Master Chief, Delroy Lindo as the General Colonel dude. I would then have obviously I'm trying to think. If he's around, because I think he actually did the voice for the game, Terrence Stamp, as one of the elders. So just as far as the villains go, you'd have to go bring in a Terrence Stamp and Ian McKellen. See, now I now have to rethink now. Maybe even putting a Pacino in there. But yeah, but to start off with, I mean, because I've always said that people have a narrow-minded view of Vin Diesel because they feel like if Vin Diesel is just that's our whole Fast and Furious stuff. Vin Diesel is a really good actor, and he is. I think he will regret the career that he's had because he should have been in more interesting films, and he should have really been an action movie star. You real deal, man. Thank you for the dub, man. Thank you for the dub, man. Real deal, man. What's the best vampire movie? You're writing a play. I'm not writing a play, but I am in the midst of trying to write a script or a story. So it's still developing. The best vampire movie is Interview with a Vampire. Hands down. That's the best vampire movie. Like it's, I've only seen it once. I'll probably say it again. Quality, absolute quality film. Because it's really the only problem with the film is that Brad Pitt is such a crap actor. But as crap as Brad Pitt is, Tom Cruise really holds the film up, and Tom Cruise is quality in the film because it's Tom Cruise, Brad Pitt, Christian Slater, who is the interviewer. Because again, like, the whole thing about vampires of how long they live for hundreds of years, they've been through different things. It really captures that kind of aesthetic and psychology, man, of the whole thing. So yeah, Interview with a Vampire. Other notable mention is Lost Boys, with Corey Feldman, Corey Haim, and of course Kiefer Sutherland, and I think Jason Patric. 80s film. But that film was because that was like a childhood film, and those are the days of VHS. I don't know how many of you guys used to have VHS when you were young, man. So we had the VHS of Lost Boys, and that was a real scary one, man. A real scary one. So those are the I think obviously the obvious one people would say is Blade, and you see when I look at Blade, I like it's. You see, Blade, it is a vampire movie. But I feel it's much more. I don't feel it is quintessentially a vampire movie. When I think of Blade, I just think of this vampire hunt and everything. I think like Interview with a Vampire is literally about vampires and the vampire mythos and everything. It's literally about that. So yeah, That's definitely what we're on. Um, Best young actress. I think it's probably between. I need to check their ages, but probably between Tiana Paris and Emma Stone. I think those two, Tiana Paris and Emma Stone, I think those are definitely the best young actresses coming up now. Because I think Emma Harris might be a bit older. But yeah, those are because I in almost all the films I've seen them in, Emma Stone and Tiana Paris, they've been really good. They've been really, really good. And I think it was such a missed opportunity of having Homeboy, the Andrew Garfield, and Emma Stone in that Spider-Man film because they're two great actors, great chemistry, but the films were directed by a brick. So that's the issue, man. Twilight is a chick flick. So it's not a vampire thing. So, and the problem with Twilight is that Twilight really disrespected and brought down the name of vampires. Because before Twilight, when you said vampire, okay, another good one as well is Vampires with James Woods. I don't know how many of you guys have seen it. That's another really good one that's really, really dark. But before that, people really okay, vampire meant horror, meant dark, meant gritty, meant edgy. Then Twilight just messed all up with bringing all this chick flick nonsense into it, man. So I was like, man, get the heck out of here, man. Yeah, you see, I remember, because I'm not a big fan of Taika Waititi, I was like, what we do in the shadow? I'm like, get the F out of here, man. Get the heck out of here. But watching it, I was like, oh, okay. Because it was pretty funny, because that is what I really sort of admire about a film that you have an idea, but it's not just about having the concept of the idea, it's about how well do you sell the idea, how well do you put the idea forward, and they put the idea forward really well of like, okay, well, let's do like a behind the scenes documentary on vampires. Oh, let's just a week in the life of vampires, and it was really good. It was really good. So yeah, I really enjoyed what we do in the chat. The jokes hit very well. There's some very amusing moments, and it was just a cool idea. Hence why, and the idea is so good, it makes sense that they're not doing a TV series. Because like you could easily do a TV series on that. And the thing about it is, I don't know what they've done for the TV show, because vampires can live for hundreds of years. You can literally start like season 1. You can say, okay, let's say we're going to do like 7 seasons. And season 1 can literally be in like the 1200s, 1300s. And you can literally go, actually, no, that wouldn't work. Because, no, that wouldn't. Because the whole idea is it's people filming them behind the scenes. There were no cameras in the 1300s. So, or you could maybe start in the 70s. Yeah, you can maybe start in the 70s and then go all the way through till today. So more underrated, Antonio Banderas or Jim Caviezel? Easily Jim Caviezel. It is criminal that Jim Caviezel has not been given it's criminal that Jim Caviezel has not been given more roles. Jim Caviezel should be Superman. Jim Caviezel should have been Superman. When that clown Brand Singer did Superman and he picked Brand Wrath, I was like, what the hell are you saying? But you see, I know a lot of you have watched Passion of the Christ, but I first saw Jim Caviezel in Frequency, film with Dennis Quaid. Really good film. And when I saw him in that film, I was like, oh no, this guy's all right. So Jim Caviezel. I don't think Banderas is underrated. I mean, I think Banderas is rated how he is. I think he's a decent actor. He's not the greatest actor. He's a decent actor. But people don't really give Jim Caviezel enough props, because Jim Caviezel is a really, really good actor. He can really go into those emotional depths more so than other people, man. Um, um, thoughts on Taika Waititi's Star Wars film? Will he do what he did with Thor to Star Wars? Will he be good or bad, or will he resurrect? You see, I think that's based on where Star Wars is. I think that's a bad idea. You know, because Taika Waititi, he is like he puts his comedy. I wasn't a fan of his episode on The Mandalorian because his choice of comedy, sh- it really wasn't called for a film like that. I was like, bro, what are you doing? Um, yeah, I think it's a bad idea. I think it's a bad idea for him to, because Star Wars is in such a bad place right now that you need to really get it right. And I think basically what Star Wars needs is someone to take full creative control over it. Get that piece of crap over the clown, JJ Abrams, the heck out of the joint. And um try and just focus more on a guy that can take this, because what Star Wars, see, this is the problem with Star Wars. Star Wars needs to grow up. Star Wars needs to grow up. That is the only way that it can evolve. Because the issue is that these films are trying to emulate the first three films, and they'll continue to fail. So what you have to go aggressively in a whole different direction. And how you do that is you have to now make push the boundaries for the content. So with Taika Waititi coming in, what you're just going to just do what there's the same jokes, the same humor. I'm like, what are you going to have like another Han Solo character? I'm like, give me a break. I've always found it strange that Star Wars was heavily influenced by samurai films and heavily influenced by Akira Kurosawa. But in the 9 films that have been made, there's not been a single Asian character. Not a single Asian character, either a Sith or a Jedi. The only Asian character was Donnie Yen in Rogue One, and he was a blind dude that was neither a Jedi or a Sith. So, like you're making a film based off samurai, and you're giving Daisy Ridley, that's posh chick, the lead. Why the hell am I going to go and watch? I mean, give me a break, man. Nah, I'm good, man. Um, it's just on the Venom movie. See, for me, I've always said like Venom isn't I've always viewed Venom as a villain, man. Um the film wasn't great, but Tom Hardy was really good. So Tom Hardy's performance was just so energetic and just so lively that you feel you can do something there. But I think I'll be very interested in a Tom Holland. So yeah, both English. Very interested in a Tom Holland, Tom Hardy Spider-Man film with um Tom Hardy, Tom Holland, Venom Spider-Man film. I think Venom works best as the villain to Spider-Man, because I've always said that for me, Venom is one of the best villains of all time. He's an amazing villain, both visually and how he is like an antithesis to Spider-Man. So that is the only kind of thing that I want to see, because let's keep it real. That Venom film wasn't very good. That Venom film wasn't very, very good, man. Nah. So just why do people love Star Wars? Always find it childish and goofy. I've always felt that Star Wars is one of the most overrated franchises of all time. And I've never really understood the love for Star Wars. But you have to understand this, is that you have to take a step back. Imagine seeing A New Hope in the late 70s. It would have blown your mind. So it was so far ahead of its time, and it was so revolutionary based on when it was released, That is just what gave it that massive boost. But my thing though is, I look at Star Wars, and for me, Star Wars has never reached its potential. It's never reached its potential. Because first of all, the battles in Star Wars are not as dynamic or as intense as the battles in Battlestar Galactica. Battlestar Galactica have way better space battles, and in Star Wars, there's only been one good quality fight with lightsabers, and that was in Phantom Menace with Darth Maul. Like the fights in the first three films were all crap. Like they were well filmed, they were very emotional, but they were crap. And the fights in the other films were garbage. So Star Wars has never reached its potential because Star Wars, if you're using lightsabers and you're supposed to be Jedi, you're supposed to be warriors, you're supposed to be good at them. Like Daisy Ridley can hardly swing unless you people Luke Skywalker was garbage with that lightsaber. It's because he's a hero that okay, he's cool, but he was garbage. So you don't have great space battles. Your lightsaber battles are crap. So I still don't think I still don't understand why people. So I'm just thinking for myself. For myself personally, I just don't see the massive appeal of Star Wars to me. Because I feel that it has potential, and it can truly be amazing, but it has not yet been done well. And obviously the Star Wars fans won't admit this, but Star Wars has not been fully done justice based on the idea of it. It's a samurai, basically it is basically samurai in space, and we haven't really gotten that fully. No, look, actually, Kill Bill was my personal favorite Tarantino film is Kill Bill Volume 1. That is my personal, whether it's his best one, but just for my personal favorites, because I say Volume 1 and Volume 2, I view them as two films, man. But Kill Bill Volume 1 is flipping amazing. That is flipping amazing. It's because it's so entertaining. It is such an entertaining film. So Kill Bill was, and I think the beauty. So, and I think the beauty about it is it was Tarantino really having fun. And if you are into anime and sort of, you will love it so much. Like Kill Bill Volume 1 is definitely like, I put it like top 20 of my favorite films, and it is my favorite Tarantino film. It is my favorite Tarantino film, man. But yeah, and I think I watched it. I watched both in the cinema. Yep, I watched both because I always remember because Kill Bill Volume 1 came out in 2003, I believe, because it came out at the same time in the same year as Reloaded. Yeah, Jackie Brown is a Tarantino film. Because I believe it goes Reservoir Dogs, Pulp Fiction. So Reservoir Dogs, Pulp Fiction, Jackie Brown, Kill Bill Volume 1, Kill Bill Volume 2. Then I believe Grindhouse. Then I think it's Inglourious Bastards. No. Then I think it's Django Unchained, Inglourious Bastards, and then what's it called? American, his latest film, Once Upon a Time in America. I think those are his films in order. But yeah, no, Kill Bill, because no, Volume 2 was cool, but I now see why he cut them in two, because I think Volume 1 and Volume 2, you look at about 3.5 hours. So I think it's good that he got it into like 90 minutes, 90 minutes. And I think I appreciated Volume 2 more in my older age, because I think the filmmaking in Volume 2 was really good, which I didn't really appreciate in my younger age. But Volume 1 for me, just like the fight scenes, the story, the comedy, Hattori Hanzo, the music, because again, because I'm not a fan of contemporary music in films. I prefer orchestral scores, but hands down, Tarantino is the best at using contemporary music because of his music choices are mostly songs you've never heard of, and how he used them, they fit so well within the scene. Um, so it doesn't seem cheesy. Because sometimes when people use contemporary music, it can seem really cheesy. But Tarantino just knows. Because even when you hear like, oh my gosh, hey, that works. Do you write poetry? If so, share one. Don't be a wimp. Well, when I used to rap, look, everyone raps because for me, rap is still poetry. So when I used to rap, yeah, I wrote loads of raps. And if I can find my rap booklet, maybe I will share it. Maybe I will share it, man. Maybe I will share it, but it all depends, man. So if Tarantino ran a studio, like studios used to be run by one guy and actors belong to a contract stable along with directors for the studio, in later she would Tarantino do a good job of that. Oh, you know what? That's an interesting because remember Tarantino has never succumbed to the CGI age or the CGI era, and Tarantino has always made films and made films in a real way. Even if I was not a fan of Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, it was still an extremely well-made film. I just didn't like the film. It was still very well made. So, and that's just the beauty of Tarantino, which is why it is so important that he exists, because people can say that, oh no, all we need is just like, CGI, computer graphics, and spend 150 minutes. Like, no. But Tarantino is like, no, all I need is like 40 or 50 mil. Because my script will be so good and my story will be so good, it'll be cool. So I liken Tarantino because you can liken Tarantino to like this whole thing of video games, of graphics and gameplay. So I would say most comic book movies are like great graphics but horrible gameplay. And Tarantino films are like, okay graphics and superb gameplay. And also that gameplay will always be more important than graphics, always. And a great story, an amazing story, will always be more important than having great special effects. Because I've seen films that have superb special effects, but these films are garbage. The Last Airbender, that film, Shyamalan, the special effects were amazing. The special effects in Last Airbender were bloody amazing. Film was garbage, absolute garbage. So who cares? But Tarantino, I don't think Tarantino has ever made a film with heavy CGI. All his films are just real locations, real things, real blood, real reaction. So it's like, and for me, for the audience member, because we live in the real world, of course we like to escape and we like a lot of stuff. But it's actually I always say that I'm more of a proponent of like animatronics, prosthetics, and doing things as well as you possibly can. Now, some things have to be done by computer graphics, but if you can do it real, it will always have a lasting effect. Which is why I say, I don't know how many of you guys have watched Total Recall. If you watch Total Recall and you look at the effects, and this film was made in the 80s, Schwarzenegger film, directed by what's his name? Guy that did Robocop, Dutch dude, Paul Verhoeven. If you look at the effects, those effects are amazing because they're real. So they'll never be outdated. See, if you look at the effects of Avatar now, they look a bit dated. When X-Men 1 was released in 2000 or something like that, those effects looked pretty good back then. But looking at it now, but you can still look at the effects of the thing. Please. The thing, John Carpenter, those are hands down, the best creature effects ever. The best creature effects of all time are the creature effects that you saw in the thing. Outstanding. Outstanding. Which is why it's one of my favorite films of all time. The thing is superb. The CGI of Lion King ever be dated? You see, we are now getting to the points of photo realism. I think that in 10 years' time, it will look slightly dated because I believe we will reach a point where CGI it's basically real. It's basically real. So I think you can still slightly improve on because I'll keep it real. Those graphics on the film was crap. Like the Lion King remake was crap, and that just showed you that, bro, this was a pointless remake. But the CGI on those lions was crazy. And the funny thing is, it's so good that you bring that up. The level of the CGI showed you why that remake was pointless. Why was Lion King so good? I'm not a big fan of the cartoon, but still, why was it? Why do people love it so much? This was a cartoonist's take on animals, so it didn't feel real. Now, once you now make Simba real, it now looks scary. So when you now make Simba, so once you now start making real lions sing, it looks terrifying. It doesn't look as fun as it was when we looked at that, because I was like, okay, this is scary. So see, in Jungle Book, it sort of works because Jungle Book always felt quite realistic, like the story in itself. But Lion King was supposed to be okay. Look, we're just having fun, you know. But we are getting to the point of where, okay, this CGI stuff is looking pretty real. This CGI stuff is looking pretty real. But I will always be a proponent of do it real, because I think via our eyes we can always tell when something that's moving isn't quite real. You can always tell. But if you can do something that you can touch, it's like the Queen in Aliens, where they use like hydraulics and stuff. Like, that's outstanding because it's real. Like, if you now did a CGI version of the Queen in Aliens, it will not look as good as it looked like how James Cameron and his team did that, man. So that's the thing, is like, I always want to really try and make sure that things are putting in real, man. So guys, we're sending some more cues, man. Sending some more cues. So while you're sending some more questions, let me just rejig and stuff. So tonight we will be watching tonight we will be watching Book of Eli. 10:30 BST, 10:30 p.m. BST. I will put out the link at 10:20. So at 10:20 BST, I will put the link for you to join the film. The link will be put on the community page of this channel. So on the community page of this channel, 10:20 p.m., 10:20 Prime Meridian, I'll put it in. And tonight's Cinema Club film is Book of Eli. Every single Wednesday night, we'll be watching a film, and tonight's film is Book of Eli. Hopefully, it is still actually. Let me just check that it is actually still available. Oh she. Let me just check that real quick. So guys, sending questions, man. Let me just check that it's actually still available. Prime Video, because it's on limited time on Prime Video. All right, my stuff. Movies watch list. Where is it? Interview with the Vampire. Oh my god, wait, where is this bad boy? Late Nights, Lady Vengeance, Heat, JFK, Outbreak. Actually, I actually want to watch Outbreak. I don't think I've actually seen Outbreak. There we go. It's there. Right there, the Book of Eli. Nice one. Because I think I was saying before, because we were supposed to watch flipping King of Comedy yesterday, man, but the other members didn't get the message, because I want to watch King of Comedy, because that film is hilarious. That film is hilarious, and it is an underrated gem by Scorsese. Not many people know about King of Comedy, but that's an underrated gem by Thingy Man. Because that's what I was even saying to Mo, that look, I was just to watch it straight, man. Yeah, you see, funny story. I don't know whether you know of this story. So when they were doing Predator and everything, I believe At one point, Van Damme was actually in the suit, and the Predator looked like a brick. So the images and the look of the Predator, they look like a brick. And McTiernan, who was the director, was like, "Man, this film can't work if this Predator, which is what this whole thing was about, because if this guy looks stupid, the whole film fails." So they're like, "Man, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. What should we do? What should we do?" That's when they just called the Lord of all Lord of special effects, Stan Winston. And it was Stan Winston who came in, and he was the guy that said, "All right, man, screw this, ground up. Let's give him the mask, let's give him the armor, dreadlocks, all that stuff." So Stan Winston was the guy that saved that film by really completely redesigning the look of the Predator to what you see there. And it's so funny because I thought that the Predator existed before the film. But no, that was a wholly original idea. And the issue I have with the new film, especially Predators, is that was a teenager. That was a teenager who went to Earth to train. So that's one Predator who is a teenager there to train. And look at how he flipping got that ass. So you can't fight Predators, you know? And that is still the greatest team ever assembled, man. Do you watch? Oh, what's it called? A film that I consider the greatest film ever made is Seven Samurai, which was made in let me see, Seven Samurai, 1954. Which when was oh gosh, what's it called? Oh, yeah, Lawrence of Arabia. What's Lawrence of Arabia mean? Yeah, Lawrence of Arabia was 1962. So two films that I rank as two of the greatest films ever made, Lawrence of Arabia and Seven Samurai, were made before 1968. I think Midnight Cowboy was 1969. I think Midnight Cowboy was 1969, man. So no, I haven't seen Into the Wild. I know Into the Wild, that is Emil Hirsch, directed by Sean Penn. I haven't seen it, but the song by Eddie Vedder is on my playlist because I love that song, because I think Eddie Vedder made a song specifically for that film, which I love, but I haven't seen the film. And I think the film is based on a true story. It's based on actually a true story by a guy who left home and just went into the wild. So best movie ending. The best movie ending. I really loved the ending of Batman Begins. The ending of Batman Begins is amazing. And I can still quote the ending. I can still quote the ending. We go, nice. Well, we couldn't find any mob bosses. Well, Sergeant. Oh, it's Lieutenant now. We started something. Bad cops running scared. Hope on the streets. But the narrative is lost. I'm not picked up Crane or half the inmates of Arkham that he released. We will. We can't bring Gotham back. What about escalation? Escalation. We start buying semi-automatics and start buying automatics. We start wearing Kevlar. They buy armor-piercing rounds. And you're wearing a mask. Jumping off rooftops. Take this guy, for instance. Double homicide, armed robbery. Got a taste for theatrical like you. He leaves a calling card. I'll look into it. I never said thank you. I never have to. Yeah. Basically, look, I have been quoting that since 2005. So for me, Batman Begins is there. Matrix is there. I think when we watched The Matrix last week, that was really good. When we watched The Matrix last week, I was reminded by how good that ending is. But I would have probably ended it in the hallway. I'd have probably ended it in the hallway. What was also other good ending? Like Seven, almost because when I think ending, I think like the last scene. So that's why I just say Batman Begins is like the last scene. Like, so other good ones. Yeah, I think really the one that stands out to me is Shawshank Redemption. The original ending for Shawshank Redemption, I think, would have probably been one of the most powerful endings. You know, because originally they wanted to go with the ending when he was on the bus and then it fades out. And then they said that test screen and people said, screw you, that's too depressing. We have to we have to just see them. So because people said no. Based on what these guys have gone through, we have to see them get back. But Frank Darabont actually wanted to end it with him on the bus. So if it had ended like that, it would have been a much more powerful ending because it would be like, oh my god, did they ever meet? Did they ever get together? So that would have been probably a powerful ending if they went with that. Oh man. Yeah, don't look, who did look at? Ask, send in your questions, man. Oh my god. Look, if you're looking for the next Batman, just give your boy a call. Guys, if they cast me as Batman, I don't think you will see me work as hard as anything. Yes, I get it. Batman is worse. I get it's cool, but you can change the rates for me. If they cast me as Batman, the kind of you will be shocked by how much HH works in this whole thing because that's like my dream role. So I know he's wise. I get it. You can change it for me. You can change this for me. Okay, relax. Come on, man. The best killing you've seen in a film. Best killing you've seen in a film. Chelsea, it's kind of weird because you can't sort of, oh, this is an interesting killing. But let me just say, the most kind of shocking killing. You've got to look at Rambo. Some of the stuff that he did in Rambo was crazy. I would probably say Rambo 4 when he gets on the Gatling gun kind of thingy, and literally he basically totally maims a dude with the kind of a machine gun thing that you have on cars. Like when I saw that in cinema, I was like, that is beyond brutal. So I would say in Rambo 4. I think a dude got shot in the eye in Universal Soldier. I think. Um so yeah, I think it's one of those, man. Oops, sorry. Oh my gosh. The best hero partnership duo in a film. It's definitely not Batman and Robin. That's a tough one. I would probably say Rush Hour, based on just how good their chemistry is, man. I would say Rush Hour. Yeah, I would say probably Rush Hour. You know, I'd say probably Rush Hour is probably like the best kind of hero partnership deal in a movie, man. You know. So actually, no. Maybe this is a question for you guys, man. What is the best date night film? What would you say is the best date night film? As far as, so if you have like a girl or something, best date night film. Because I've forgotten the name of this film. I've forgotten the name of this. There's one really good film. There's one really, because You've Got Mail and Sleepers in Seattle is too cheesy. It's with Kim Basinger and Bruce Willis. Blind Dates. So this 1987 film, Blind Dates. Because for me, like, I hate cheesy romantic films, but really good romantic comedies, Boom. So this film called Blind Date, 1987 film with Kim Basinger and Bruce Willis. Hilarious. Hilarious. I think that's a damn good date night film. Um, because again, it's like, because it depends. If you're with a girl who is into horror, is she into drama and everything? Because I think the girls I used to be with, I don't think any of them were into the kinds of films that I was into. So for them, it was either Disney films or comedies. So I think basically you can always basically a safe thing for a date night is you can always be safe with comedies or basically a happy medium. A happy medium is because look, guys don't watch romantic films. A happy medium is romantic comedies or comedies. Because look, because like a comedy is one that everyone can like, but like guys are definitely more leaned towards more action, sci-fi kind of thing. Is women are lead more towards romantic dramas and all that kind of stuff. So, oh, Exorcist, damn. um, I don't think Exorcist is exactly the most you feel bad. You see, that's the thing. Um, Titanic is the number one chick flick. I hate Titanic. I remember, I don't know whether you've heard the story. So me and my friend, this is when I was living in Switzerland. So me and my friend, we went to watch Titanic. Another really good. I think that's another good one. That's another good one for the cinema club. Starship Troopers. How many of you guys have seen Starship Troopers? Because it came out in '97, the same time as Titanic. How many of you guys have seen Starship Troopers? That is a damn good, and I feel that Halo might have been influenced by that. Starship Troopers. How many of you guys have seen Starship Troopers? So me and my friend, we went to the cinema to watch Titanic. And I don't know what was said in the last 15 minutes of that film. Do you know why I don't know what was said in the last 15 minutes of that film? There were three girls in front of us. And you know what they were doing? They were sniffling and crying for the last 15 minutes of the film. So I'm going to say, like, I want to make, and this is what began my hate of DiCaprio. DiCaprio was disgusting in that film. You see, I wanted him gone. I said, man, get this loser off this flipping thing. This guy, he was just disgusting. Just, yeah. But I'll keep it real. I'll keep it real. It's still a very well-made film. And when that ship sank, my God in heaven, man. When that ship sank, oh my gosh. Is this Big Trouble in Little? Is this the film with It's not big. Is this Big Trouble in Little China? Because I know there's Big Trouble in Little China. Then there's that film with um Brandon Lee and Dolph Lundgren, which means something Tokyo. Or do you mean Big Trouble in Little China? And Big Trouble in Little China is a great film. Big Trouble in Little China is an absolutely great film. Man, I actually wanted just to I wanted to pick that as one of the films. I may put that because for this cinema club I wanted to do genre. So last week we did sci-fi. This week is more this week is post-apocalyptic. So maybe next week we'll do comedy, and maybe next week I think we should try and do Undercover Brother. Undercover Brother is flipping hilarious. Undercover Brother is flipping absolutely hilarious, man. You know, it's flipping absolutely hilarious, man. So so Sammy, you're really telling me that you're not a fan of Titanic. Titanic is the ultimate. Titanic is the ultimate chick flick. I don't think I've met any woman that has not either loved Titanic or at least like Titanic. It's because it appeals to the core of the female psyche. So it's like That's why it made a bill, because women watch that film 20 times. There are women who watch that film 20 times in the cinema. 100%. They watch that film 20 times in the cinema, and that's why it was so good, and because it was able just to really get to the very core of just what's really made people really go in there, man. So it was deep, man. I date all kinds, man. All kinds. I'm not racially restrictive of like that. I date all kinds. White, blue, green, black, red, all kinds, bro. All kinds, man. So I don't limit myself, man. But yeah, no. I mean, yeah, Book of Eli should be fun. So remember, guys, let me just repeat myself again. Tonight's film is Book of Eli. 10:20, we pop off. I think last week was cool. Speaking of which, I need to download. Last week was cool. I really enjoyed last week. Last week was real cool. Like just watching the Matrix and really just because I think most people had already seen it, but I just think just watching it again and just really illuminating some of the key scenes, because again, watching it again, I was like, the pacing. That's why the film won an award for editing. Just how it just goes from scene to scene to scene, plot point to plot to plot point. You are always engaged. It always pulls you in. Superb. Absolutely, totally, and utterly superb, man. And which is why I just say, like, one of the key parts to a film is the script. You can have the directors, you can have the writers. It's a solid script is a great foundation because the script is the Bible. You can have the best directors in the world, the best actors in the world. If what is going on in the mind is garbage, and the story is garbage, then who cares? The story is always paramount. That's why even when I was making films, we were just like, I was about to say, we don't need all these huge, massive locations for a film. We need a great story. And we can make a great film in 2 or 3 locations. All we just need is a great story. And a great story can really, really take you far. Dr. Umar Johnson, man. Umar Johnson needs to relax, man. See, do you rate John Travolta as an actor? No. No, not really, man. See, John Travolta is like his career is built off his charisma. That is how his career has been. Yeah, he's not, like, technically he's not a great actor. Like, when you look at his biggest film, Grease is totally his ability to perform. And even when you look at Pulp Fiction, does anyone really talk about John Travolta's performance in Pulp Fiction? People talk more so about like Samuel L. Jackson. That's his film. Samuel Jackson was a real star in Pulp Fiction. So John Travolta, John Travolta was the partner to thing in Pulp Fiction. So, and I remember, like, Tarantino really went out to really try and get him for Pulp Fiction and everything, because he wanted, because this was his renaissance, because after Grease he had like a lull. Nobody really was really checking for him, and that was like his really big comeback. But he's never really been that kind of top tier actor who you like him. And you don't get John Travolta for his acting ability. You get him for his star quality and his ability to command the screen and his charisma. But that is why Tom Cruise is so special, because Tom Cruise has everything that every other actor has. Tom Cruise has the charisma of a John Travolta. He has the dramatic acting of a Denzel Washington. He has the action movie quality of like a Schwarzenegger or a Stallone. Like, Tom Cruise is literally the perfect actor. And like, he's really the perfect movie. Like for me, I say that Tom Cruise is the greatest movie star of all time, easily the greatest movie star of all time. Um, what do you think of the Creed films? Oh, Creed was Creed is probably because I was ranking the Rocky films. So I said Rocky 1, Rocky 2. Creed is the third best in the series. As a film, it's the third best in the series. And you could argue between Creed and Rocky 2, but I think Rocky 2 just edges it. But yeah, Creed 2 was a bit of a letdown because obviously it was a different director because Ryan Coogler was the one who did Creed 1. But Creed, see, that was just such a genius idea. A genius idea of like, oh, let's take Apollo Creed, let's look at his son, and let's just still do the whole Rocky thing, but we're doing it in a whole different, we're giving it a whole different edge that is more contemporary that today's audience can be into. So, no, Creed I thought was a very good film, and how he filmed those scenes, those one-shot scenes and everything, and how he was able to follow them, like they call it like a Warner, I thought was amazing. So, and it was just a smart idea for a story. And see, that's the thing. Michael B. Jordan is not a great actor. He's a movie star, not a great actor. So that was a great fit for Michael B. Jordan because that's like a movie star role. But then you say that, what if, for instance, they put in like a Nate Parker in that role? Because remember, Rocky was really about acting. Rocky was not about movie star in a franchise. No, like Stallone really acted in Rocky. That was a great performance, you know. And I remember it was a topic because he was nominated in the same year as De Niro with Taxi Driver. But of course, you know your boy, I think it's Peter something, who won for Network. It was a posthumous award. But that was an amazing performance by Stallone, you know. So, but I still think that Michael B. Jordan, like, that's really worked for him. And I think Creed is what's really, obviously Creed and obviously Black Panther is what's made B. Jordan now the guy. But what I always find annoying is that you can't, so what, Michael B. Jordan is not going to star in every film. There are other Black actors as well. You can be like, oh, Michael B. Jordan, let's just put him in every film. It's like how they try to do for Halle Berry. So now it's Halle Berry. Now she's now the Black chick in every film. So now it's Michael B. Jordan. We're looking for like a Black star, Michael B. Jordan. Well, there's Daniel Kaluuya, there's Nate Parker, there are other dudes as well, you know. So cool. Yeah, no, look, just that I've had it quite difficult, but I'm trying to get into music. But yeah, like when I have time, I do try and write some scripts and some screenplays, man, just to try and keep myself creative, man. Keep myself nice and creative, because I'm all about trying to be creative, like, you know, whether it's drawing, making music, writing a story. I wrote a book when I was young. When I was like 18, I did write a book long time ago. So should Will Smith hang up acting and go back to a rap career resurgence? Better rapper than an acting movie? Oh, you know, for sure. Like I've always said, like Will Smith is not a great actor. He's a movie star, which is why Will Smith's best films are Independence Day and Men in Black. Will Smith's performance in Men in Black is one of the best movie star performances I've ever seen in ever seen. But when it comes to acting, he can't do it. Like in Ali, when he tried to act, so acting like he's not. It's how many 50-year-old rappers have careers, you know, and there's even no Jay-Z, you know, he does everything here and there, but Jay-Z isn't like a rapper full time. He dips in and out of a rap. So, because remember, like acting doesn't have a sell by date. Rap sort of does. It shouldn't, but rap just has a sell by date. I mean, once you get 50, your late 40s, 50, you know, it's hard to sort of have a spotlight because of how rap is. People are focusing on that up-and-coming 20-year-old, that guy in their late 20s, that guy in their early 30s, and so forth. But in film, you can be 50, 60, 70, like, boom, like, look, like, home guys were in their 70s, 80s. Pacino and De Niro when they did The Irishman. So just as for Will Smith, like I still respect what he did because he knew he couldn't be in rap forever because rap had a sell by date. That's why it was smart what he did. Just that. That's why he's sort of like, reminding guys that, you know what, I can rap because he, you see, Will Smith is different from Tom Cruise. What gives Tom Cruise that kind of success is he's a very good actor. So Tom Cruise has the charisma of Will Smith. He can hold the screen like Will Smith. He may not have the comedic timing, but he can hold the screen. But what gives Tom Cruise the edge is that Tom Cruise is actually a very good actor. And he's a far better actor than Will Smith. So Will Smith's lack of acting quality means that there are a limited amount of films he can do and do well. Like that film Concussion, that's a dramatic film. But Will Smith just can't, that's just not his forte. Worst acting cast. I said again, worst acting cast. I'm not really sure about the worst acting cast, but I would definitely say that what was it called? I would definitely say the worst acting. Basically, the worst acting I've seen. The worst acting I've seen is between Gal Gadot and Daisy Ridley, and Ben Affleck in the Daredevil. But I think it's between those two for sure. Those two of the worst acting is definitely between Gal Gadot and Daisy Ridley. That's superb. But I'm not really sure whether I can really pick a worst cast in a film. That's a bit different. No, I'm not seeing any Bollywood films, man. I mean, I've seen them from afar, but I'm not sat down and watched a Bollywood film from beginning to end. But I think I do admire the kind of dance routines and everything that they have. So, Truman Show is a remember. So what's the name of this dude? I think it's called Andrew Niccol. So Andrew Niccol is the guy who wrote Truman Show, and he also did Gattaca. The guy has a great sci-fi mind, and the Truman Show is pretty much the Truman Show is pretty much Big Brother. It's pretty much like a kind of insight into Big Brother and stuff. So no, really good. And Truman Show actually showed people. Truman Show actually showed people that Jim Carrey could actually do dramatic roles. Because before Truman Show, because remember, the Truman Show was before Man on the Moon. People just knew Jim Carrey as a comedic dude. But I think Truman Show really showed guys, oh no, this guy can actually do dramatic stuff. But I just think the idea of Truman Show of how your life is fake and it's not real, and your life is a TV show, I think it's just like it's a crazy idea. And how everybody, all parts of your life, these guys are all playing roles. Is good. I think that was with Ed Harris as well. No, that stuff was good because again, that's what it's like when you guys ask me, okay, best films of the last decade. So let's just be real. In the last decade, which films of the last decade would you say can be put as one of the best films I've ever made? So from 2010 to 2020, like maybe you might argue Parasites, because I think Parasites was a really, really good film, which came obviously at the tail end. But apart from Parasites, which films could you say are like, okay, these are like all-time films that you can maybe put in as one of the all-time great films? Like, they're not really that many. And I think the issue for that is so much focus has been put and so many funds have been put into this whole comic book movies. So when you're spending 100 million on a comic book movie and everything, it leaves you very little leeway or wiggle room to try and look at other films and everything, you know. So it's like I say, like I love Edge of Tomorrow, and I think Get Out was great. Are you going to call them really all-time films? But like when you look at the 70s, Look at Godfather. You look at Serpico. You look at Rocky. 80s, you look at Back to the Future. You look at Raging Bull. So what is it? I think in the 80s, all you can probably say is Back to the Future and Raging Bull. Predator. You can ever look at Predator. 90s. Oh. So yeah, I think there have been really good films, but not really many films that you would say that have really stood out, you know. So guys, look, man, I think this has been a good thing, man. So remember, guys, to reach your boy for any kinds of topics and so forth, remember halfwhopot.com. That is the website. To reach me by email or view what I'm on, halfwhopot.com. So tonight is Book of Eli. Remember, I will put the link out at 10:20 on the community page. So on the community page at 10:20, I will put out the link for you guys to view. And Book of Eli is going to be the film for tonight. And then we'll obviously think about what film we have for next. But guys, stay true, stay real, subscribe if you're new. And I'll see you guys tomorrow for the top 10. Love, be real, be cool. Peace out. Become a Half Hope Talks member and gain access to exclusive videos and also the chance to watch films, anime, or different videos with your boy HH exclusively. Just click below on the join button to join in and become a Half Hope Talks member to gain access to these perks. Just click on the community icon over here to view the new members only posts just for you.